Everybody's doing good. Just having a little installment on an update with Helium Mobile. That's the democratized phone system that's being built on the Solana blockchain currently. So I have one of my students on here, Kevin, who actually executed both on the hardware and he's actually using the mobile device. So I wanted to start from the top, guys. So about a couple of years ago, I ran into a project called Helium, and they're known as the Internet of Things. So what sets Helium apart from a lot of different projects that I've seen in crypto is it actually has hardware and great case use. So when it first initially came out, they had these devices that you could put in your home and it was giving out signals. So I think they grew it close to 2 million people nationwide, and they basically had a big, large coverage map. So at the time, I always tell my students, look for the case use and what this company is trying to do. So they had mentioned being the Internet of Things, right? So as you know, we have an issue with so much data being used right now in society, and there's not enough signal out here to, for people to be able to consume all this data. You have autonomous cameras, cars, all sorts of things, robots, automation. So this company decided to create hardware that's affordable for regular people to be able to build a system. At present time, the only way that you could really build a system to collect information is signal, and it's through towers. Towers are very expensive. They cost tens of millions of dollars to erect. They cost tens of thousands of dollars to just service. And then on top of that, the towers need to be placed places, and usually they're placed in places that people actually own. So now you have to pay building owners or land owners rent every month. So what these dudes do is when they are consuming the signal and everything, they sell it back to the cell phone carriers, and then the cell phone carriers create product for us. And this is what we have today with T-Mobile, Verizon, and all these companies. So as you can notice, over the past couple of years, the phone service has been going up. Not that the service is any worse than what it was back in the day, but now the price of phones are increasing. The price of service to phones are increasing. So, at the end of the day, we're all paying a lot more. So when Helium first initially came out, they didn't have a mobile component. Their biggest thing was in the Internet of Things. So when you start to buy, refrigerators, microwaves, dishwashers, things that are Wi-Fi enabled, they can connect to the Helium network for, automatically. And that would be an incentive for people. But at the time, a couple of years ago, I was like, listen, this is a cell phone company, right? So if you figure the reason for our high cost is because, what they're paying is increasing. So then that means it's going to fall on the customer at the end of the day. So when Helium was able to erect this signal in less than a year, it just showed me the power of people at the end of the day. So this is what you call a democratized system. It's not centralized, it's decentralized, meaning centralized would be one person owning all the data and they get to do what they want to do with it. Amazon, Google, you name it. Decentralized means these companies are allowing individuals to add to the data pool and they get rewarded for it. Understand? So they're not, these aren't guys who are looking to make their shareholders wealthy. They're looking to pass the cost down to the savings down to the people. And then they're allowing the people in exchange to building the network, they'll incentivize them with the tokens. So guys, the synergy in this is incredible. So a couple months ago, I introduced the mobile, had just launched a beta in Miami. So us having a great network, we have students from the Miami area, and I was able to connect with a lot of those, my students and introduce them to it. So Kev is on the line now. He's one of the guys that executed coming out of Miami. So I'm going to share the screen with you guys now. So currently now, Helium, Miami was the first beta test city that Helium Mobile rolled out in, right? So Miami is one of the most friendliest crypto cities. So it just made sense. The mayor was on board, the governor, everybody was on board for this new innovation. Okay, $5 sell, it helps everybody out, especially in times where cost of inflation and everything's rising. To think that you can put out a cell phone company and only charge $5 and it'd be great. So the test was amazing in Miami. They end up expanding further out of Broward County, and Kevin jumped in. Exciting news, guys. So today's December 6th. Yesterday, December 5th, depending on when you watch this video, they just launched the nationwide coverage. So the nationwide coverage is not 20, it's 5. I mean, it's not 5, it's $20 now, which is still an incredible price for unlimited talk, data, and text. Okay. So we're going to get Kevin on here. I'm going to ask him a few questions about, how he's liking the device. When did he get with it? What is he doing with it? How's he earning? And then one thing I just want to let you guys know is there is this data coverage situation where you could open your phone up to giving out data. So usually we just receive data and we use our phone. So the network is incentivizing people who have this phone to open up. So basically you're just giving a signal out. So when people jump on the actual signal, you'll be rewarded in mobile tokens. Remember, we don't have to pay for expensive satellites and towers and maintenance and things like that. So now that cost that usually comes as an expense to a major company, it comes in a form of a savings that this company has decided to just pass it along to the clients at the end of the day. One of the things that you guys fail to realize is Helium Mobile has a 6-year partnership with T-Mobile. Here's why it's beneficial for both. For one, Helium Mobile, as it grows its network, if there are dead zones, it flips right over into the T-Mobile network, which gives you nationwide coverage. The benefit for T-Mobile is now that they have this small player that I believe is going to be a giant in the space, they already have the relationship locked up and solidified. Now, wherever T-Mobile wasn't working, they get to erect small, cheaper devices and make sure that their system on their end is growing. So they don't look at Helium Mobile as a competitor. They look at them as an enhancement to a business that's already done, because not every client is going to want to jump over to a $5 plan or leave their plan, right? Humans, people are just accustomed to what they're accustomed to sometimes. But I could tell you in where we're at right now in society and the economy, that saving anybody, especially on a mobile phone, is probably one of the best things to do. And I've also come across some data showing the default currently, in the last 3 months, it's been the highest cell phone default rates, meaning people aren't even able to afford their cell phone bills. So second to your rent, your cell phone bill is usually the first thing that you keep on, because it's the thing that makes you money. I'm able to generate tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands a year because of my cell phone, social media, creating content. It is an important, vital piece to just who we are nowadays, right? So, and even if you're just a person that's just playing around with it, or someone who has kids, like a $5 plan for a kid is extraordinary for a family. On average, my family, a family of 4, we pay close to, actually just my wife and I cell phone bill is about $180. And then our kids have Apple Watches, so they're not even on a full phone yet. So we're at close to $200 with insurance and things like that, and after taxes. So now when you have a device like this that comes into play, we can go from 200 to 800, right? So just want to bring Kev on. Kev, just share your experience. You're actually using the phone on a daily basis. What's happening with this phone?
Yeah, so I've had the service about three weeks, close to a month now, and so far it's been great, man. No lags. Actually, it's been working better. I have another line with T-Mobile. I've had it for about 15, 16 years. And I've had no problem so far with Helium. It doesn't lag. I don't need to hop on Wi-Fi when I go into locations. When I have my T-Mobile line, if I'm in certain places, I got to hop on Wi-Fi. Haven't had any drop calls. Haven't had any disordered FaceTimes. I'm actually on the service right now. So it's been really good. When I first downloaded it, I had to get the app. I actually signed up a part of Wave 2, so they kept me notified of when they were going to go live in Miami. So they went live in Miami. I think a couple of days after that, they expanded to West Palm and Broward. I'm currently in Broward. So as soon as I got that notification, I hopped on, signed on, downloaded the app, put my information in. They asked me if I wanted a physical SIM. It'll take 3 to 5 business days to get here. Or if I wanted an eSIM, I could activate the service right away. I've been waiting for this since I heard it from you. So I'm like, hey, I don't want to wait. Boom, let's do the eSIM. I downloaded the eSIM. My service was activated right away. I'm looking around to see how I could earn, because I remember, how I learned about this project was from you guys, and doing any research. I know that they were doing a more decentralized model where we could earn as towers. So I'm like, okay, I got the service now, but let me see, let me go around this app. So I'm messing around with the app. I find the mapping. It tells me, do you want to enable mapping? Yeah, read everything about it. Tells me that it's basically allowing me to be a hotspot, allowing me to give out service versus receive. When our usually having a cell phone carrier and the way our phones are structured, I guess we're only able to receive a service. Now, when I with this mapping capability, I'm able to put out service and be, like you said, a tower. So I downloaded it. enabled mapping, turn my GPS on, it told me that it actually, I can enable it to save my battery so it doesn't waste any extra battery. Then it asked me to download a Wi-Fi certificate, which, like I explained, that allows you to start pushing out service instead of just receiving it. So I downloaded the Wi-Fi certificate, took about a minute or two, mapping was enabled. I started earning. So you get paid every day at about 7 or 8 p.m. every day, based on the performance you've done for the day. So every day I get about 6,600 mobile tokens. It started slowly trickling down, about 500 to 1,000 a day. But recently, past 2 days or so, I started turning on my hotspot at my house and connecting my TV, my Nest thermostat, my son's iPad, all my little devices at the house, and started giving off service. When I started doing that, and I looked at the mapping, because like Steve has on the screen right here, it gives you a breakdown of how much you're getting per day. When I did that, I believe if you see, there's one that says on December 2nd, it says 58,000, and the next day it says 59. So how it goes, usually it decreases, but it increased by 1,000 that day. So I'm like, why did it increase that day? I'm like, oh, I provided more service. So I started, putting on the service at my house now via the phone, and it's been working great. My son's iPad doesn't lag. The TVs, we watch Netflix, it's no problem. So as I've been going by, I've noticed, hey, this is really good. It's working better than my T-Mobile service that I've had for 15 years. And like Steve said, they have a 6-year partnership with T-Mobile. So if for any reason you're in a location that maybe Helium isn't working that good, boom, you'll hop on T-Mobile. So for me, it was a no-brainer because I'm already contracted with T-Mobile. I've been a happy customer with them for 15 years. So to join a company that I'm going to save money, and worst case, it's backed up by the company I already have, why not? And then on top of that, I'm getting paid in mobile coins. It's a no-brainer. So it's $5 a month, but with the mobile coins, you also have the option to pay your bill in mobile coins. So if you don't want to spend the $5.31 or $5.21, whatever it is a month, you can pay with the coins that you're already earning. So essentially, it's free. But everybody the majority of people are seeing this video, probably a part of the community, and that Steve says, hey, pack those bags because integration is coming. So you can prepay your bill like he has right there on the screen, but I think it'd be a lot better to, hold on to this bag because this service is going to explode. Just earlier today, I saw on the crypto news channel that it said Solana-based Helium went up, I think, about 50% in the past 24 hours. I'm not sure, but I believe that's because yesterday they just went nationwide. So as people start subscribing to this cheaper plan, obviously is going to provide more value for the coin because they're getting more people under their infrastructure. So I think this is the great service. I own a barbershop. I've had 3 of my barbers sign up for it. They've loved it. They said in the past week or so since they've had it, they had no issues, no lags. 2 of them got their girlfriends to sign up on it, and they're very, very happy. And of course, they're saving money. One of my guys, he was paying like $120 a month just for his service. Now he's paying $5. So it's a win-win. You're building an infrastructure. Like Steve said earlier, you're getting a foot in the door for this new technology innovation that we're going into. You're early adopter, so your benefit is you're getting paid and you're saving money. So far in the past 3 to 4 weeks, I've had no issues. I got my wife on there. I'm about to get my mother on it as well. So $15 for 3 people, man, it's a no-brainer. So I have nothing bad to say. It's been great. I appreciate you, bringing this information to the community because so far, man, it's been a blessing, and it's something that, I would never saw before. I wouldn't think that I could get into a company earlier and just be a part of the infrastructure rather than being a consumer. So it's a dope thing to actually be on the other side and then save money at the same time for something you're already using. You like you said, you need cell phone service, so it's a no-brainer. Right.
So let me ask you so you've been with T-Mobile over 15, 16 years. How much is your current plan and how many people do you have on the line?
I pay for my mother as well, street, and it's cause I've been there for a long time. So I got a $60. So it's about $180 for all 3, $190 with taxes and stuff like that for all 3.
About $190, just under $200 for, so on this $5 plan, you could probably put the whole extended family on this thing and still won't get to $200.
Yeah, man. I'm from New York, but my family's from the Dominican Republic. So I even told my mom, I'm like, yo, I could look like the man. People come in to visit. I'm like, hey, have a phone. Let's have a phone. You don't got to pay the bill. It's $5. Right. I pay everybody's bill.
Love it. So what I just shared was, and this wasn't Kevin's screenshot. This was another one of my students from the Miami area, and he opted to prepay his. So when you're getting these mobile token rewards every day, and this screenshot is actually directly from Kevin's app. So he's at 5,119, right, on December 5th. This is how much mobile rewards. So just to give you guys perspective on that, right? Currently, and I'm going to just share the current price of the token with you guys. Okay. Kevin, you can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So I'm just headed over to CoinMarketCap. So right now, guys, the current price of the Helium Mobile token is 0.0003727, right? So there's still some room. So I'm just going to get a calculator here, and we're going to look at what he is making in the form of cash per day, right? Because if you don't know how to convert it, then you won't know what it means. So let's just say $5,100 on the December 5th times 0.0003727. All right. So he's at about $1.90. So just under $2, guys, on 5,100 tokens. Okay. So he starts to do that. Let's say 10 days, he's at about $20 in 10 days. So what the company allows you to do is it allows you to redeem, when the monthly bill is due, he could redeem his tokens, give it back to the company, and pay for his bill. I showed you the screenshot of my student who prepaid for 3 months. I have another student who prepaid for a year, right? So these guys, they have different ways of accumulating mobile tokens. A lot of us have the hardware where we're actually signal providers. This was before the cell phone company was even developed. And then we have the guys who are now mobile users who are walking around like if they're an antenna at the end of the day. Guys, because Kevin has a business and I have real estate out of state, I'm going to start putting the equipment at my properties. So now what I could do with my tenants now is I can incentivize them to say, hey, listen, jump on, I'm giving free Wi-Fi signal in the building now. You understand? And as the information starts to get out, because I have signals in different places, now I can have other people benefiting from it. But if I know my tenants all want to save money at the end of the day. I deal with a lot of Section 8 housing, affordable housing. So this matters to a lot of people. A lot of them are paying on average, and I was checking $60 to $80 on mobile phone service for 1 or 2 people at most. So now we're talking about a $20 plan nationwide. So the $5, just to be clear, it's not nationwide for 5. It was a beta special price for guys that were in Miami. So it could come around again when they start moving to other cities. But I think the 20 is going to be that sweet spot where they sit, where you get grandfathered in. So if you look at this Helium price in the last day, it has went up over 50% in the last day. So that means the launch news has created a 50% increase in the token. Exactly. In the last, and then on top of the launch, there was the partnership with the University of Miami, which is a big one. College students all would love to save money. So we're this information is getting out there now. Their logos are at the games, at the basketball games. So just be on the lookout for it. And then in 7 days, we were.
Steve, let me touch on that Miami Hurricane thing. I actually got an email yesterday that they were going to send me notifications and let me know that I'll have access as a Helium user to special little hurricane fan events. So I'm going to actually check that out. Whenever I get, notified, I'm going to go check out an event and see what kind of access and stuff I get just by being a Helium provider.
So guys, this is the great part about when you democratize systems, right? The money is no longer going to, investors' pockets. You can deploy and make sure that you have cheaper service, and 2, you start offering incentives to people that have the phone. So they're going to put a lot more back into marketing, a lot more back into sponsorship. If I had to guess, the whole Miami University of Miami campus is probably lined with this signal that's going to offer cheaper, more affordable cell phone rates, not only for the students, but for the faculty and staff.
Sure.
So the same way that Kev is saving on, at his barbershop now, you start to spread the word and the awareness at the barbershop. And even if somebody wanted to just use their phone, just the fact that they can come on a free signal inside of the shop while they wait puts more money inside his pocket. So he has a new vertical in his business now, guys.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
right? So in the last 7 days, it went up 37%. In the last month, we're at 84%. And then around a year, we're at 31% in a year. Okay. So guys, in the year, remember the cell phone company wasn't around back then. So now that the mobile is here, this is huge. So Kevin had asked me the other day, he's like, Steve, should I, and he knew about the accumulation thing, but he was just asking a general question, should I prepay my bill? And I said, you know what, right now, 0.0003 doesn't seem like a lot, but if you hold on to the accumulation, because if you just look at, just his last 10 days, he's at already close to 56, over 60,000 mobile tokens. This project could easily get to $1. And this isn't financial advice, but I'm just telling you that even if he stopped right here and he had 50,000 mobile tokens and this thing gets to 50 cents, he's at 25 grand now. So not only does he have a free cell phone or even just $5, right? We don't need it to be free, but he's also accumulating and the company is growing. So as the company grows, the 6-year partnership with T-Mobile, who knows what other partnerships these guys are going to have. This starts to become, they start to gain market share on the mobile industry, which is a $1 trillion industry, guys. This price is not going to stay where it's at right now. It will start to balloon. So if you look at the Helium project, when I was mining Helium, if you look down here, Helium all-time high was $55 when they were doing their stuff. So now it's at $4.19. So just showing you the power. And at that time, Helium didn't even have a real case use the way that the mobile company does. So I'm not saying that the mobile company could get to 55, but I can tell you that it's valued way more than the HNT side of the business, for sure. So I'm just looking at it in dollars and cents, guys. I've accumulated millions of tokens since I got on because I was one of the earlier adopters in giving out signal. Now I'm coming on the mobile side, and I'll be able to touch and go on the mobile side and just keep updating you guys on what I see happening. And then I'll make sure I get the updates back from, like I wouldn't have got the update for me in Miami doesn't really benefit me being, outside of Miami. So it looks like this company is really gearing up for something big. And the timing is just perfect because, so price of everything's going up, cost of inflation. So everybody's looking to save something somewhere. And like I said before, your cell phone is, for me, it generates, my livelihood is on here, because of what I do. I need to be mobile. I'm a content creator, I'm an educator, and I do most of my business through social media, and I'm always on the go. So I have to carry the cell phone with me.
And guys, for me, the reason that T-Mobile was such a big partnership that they had is because if you guys been paying attention in the past couple of years, T-Mobile has been consolidating with a lot of people, man. They bought Metro a couple of years ago, and now they just took over Sprint. So looking at the current trajectory of how T-Mobile has been going, it might help T-Mobile. Helium, just go ahead and hop in that consolidation where T-Mobile might be one of the giants, after all of this stuff is said and done. It might just be 2 or 3 companies. So if Helium's partnered with a company like that, and at the end of their 6-year partnership, it might just be T-Mobile, another company, and Helium running the board. So looking at how they're getting started and the partnerships they're making, it already seems like they're in a great direction.
So again, as a real estate developer, if any of you guys are, I have a lot of real estate guys that follow me. Guys, tap in. You start to see some of these things here. The revolution has begun. Neighbors can band together to own their own network. Really excited to see what this does in the area without strong coverage from big networks. So this is the classic story of David and Goliath, guys, right here. And one of the things I preach to my kids all the time is consumerism is at an all-time high. This is what this country is built on. It's a super marketing machine at the end of the day. You have to figure out what side of it you're on. So I tell my kids all the time, it's 2 classes. There's consumer and there's producer. We're always going to be consumers, right? There's no way around that. But when you start to produce, you can offset, create more verticals, create more ways to make money. So at Skyton Crypto University, we not only showed you how you can save money with a project, case use, right? This has everything to do with cryptocurrency, blockchain technology. This is the epitome of what I teach. And this is one of the most exciting projects that I've been a part of. And there's no benefit to me outside of being a network operator. I'm not getting paid from these guys to even shoot this right now. I'm just so excited when my students are excited and when they're executing and everybody's making money and now saving money. So it's just great to hear that, Kev was able to implement this inside of his barbershops. He's ready to get more hardware to put in there and really grow this situation. So we're just in an accumulation phase right now. And I'm telling you guys, when this thing gets to 10 cents, 5 cents, 50 cents, $1, $55 one day, $100. You know, sky's the limit at that point now. I've could single-handedly say with the amount of students that I have in my university that, you know, and this is for later, and I'm speaking it into existence now, I easily created hundreds of millionaires off of one crypto project.
Word.
That's it. So Kev, you want to close with anything?
No, like you said, I couldn't agree with everything you just said and more, man. It's like super exciting. This kind of ties into like what you guys were saying, like putting us onto link to, as far as like we never have the opportunity to get into something before it pops off. And learning, I first heard about Helium from you in March, and I bought into the token, seeing where it is now, and that me, just as simple as getting paid every day as being a provider, I would have never seen this side of the game. You know, I would never even thought that it's like, yo, I'm getting paid for providing service. I'm a consumer. You know, I've had a cell phone 25 years, bro. So I'm always a consumer. Now looking around, it's like, damn, I'm a provider. I'm part of this infrastructure. It's just a whole nother side of the game, man, that I never even would have thought is possible. So it's dope to be a part of, and seeing all of this news come out. It excites me because it's just like, damn, I'm in early, and getting all these coins right now, just with the Helium that with the service that I've been acquiring, I got about 78,000, and it's only been a couple weeks. So just seeing how everything is going and the partnerships and this and that is just like, man, it seems like the sky's the limit. And like I said earlier about the T-Mobile partnership, it seems like they with the right people, and it seems like they're going towards the right direction. Only time will tell, but I would have never, ever in a million years thought that I could get into a industry that's already been around for 20, 30 years and be a provider and kind of ride the wave as they go up. So it's super excited. Shout out to you and Champ for putting this on to us. You guys could have kept this, to yourselves, but you brought it to the community, and it's huge, man. My wife's excited about it. I told my mom about it the other day. She's like, oh my God, for real? I could make, man, my barbers are excited. So it's just dope that we get a foot in the door before we get shut out, And I want to thank you guys for that.
Oh, I appreciate you. And listen, the great part about this network is it doesn't start at cell phone coverage, right? So street lights, they start having partnerships with the Department of Transportation, autonomous cars, Tesla, you name it. This data, and that's the thing. So I like to compare it to like the Apple tag, right? No one really knows how that situation really works, right? That's a decentralized system too, because the Apple tag in itself, there's no monthly payment. So people are like, how does this thing work? It works off of being able to pick up where Apple phones are. So if the tag is near an Apple phone, it'll ping it.
Yeah.
Right? So the odds of an Apple phone being around a product, in an airport, I throw this stuff in my suitcase. So there's so much more verticals that could come out of this. In 2024, what I'm more so looking forward to is showing people how to execute in crypto. And we can even build on the Helium network our own situations. You understand? So that's the part that you guys have to figure out. The cell phone is great, but imagine coming up with an idea and the data is already there. These companies are paying to help deploy new innovative ideas onto their network because it doesn't stop the cell phone, guys. This is just the beginning.
Exactly. And to hop on that, I think this to me, as far as like being part of the community, is one of the first steps of the implementation that's becoming real. On Black Friday, I don't know if anybody watching this video knows, but on Black Friday, Amazon paid $800,000 to the exclusive broadcasting rights for that Black Friday game. I heard that and I'm like, damn, why y'all paying almost $1 million just to show the game? They changed the game. Like he just said a couple seconds ago, people are paying to introduce this new technology. What they did was, okay, you got Amazon Prime, we're gonna let you watch this game. They charged, I want to say 80 something thousand to companies for commercials. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of money. What they did was, like you just said, implemented a new technology on every commercial. The companies that pay for those commercials, let's say they had this OxyClean that they were showing on the commercial. What you could do from home while watching on Amazon Prime is click on this OxyClean and it'll automatically go into your cart and you buy it just like that. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but they made a couple billion. So they paid 880,000. They made, I think, something billion off of the sales because they charged all these companies. Everybody wanted these 30-second commercials. They saw a way to kind of force the Black Friday shopper, because if you've been hearing about what's going on, people expected Black Friday to be a little less than usual. They were like, nah, let's bring a new way to make sure while you at your house, you're not going to the mall, you can still buy something. So companies are paying to introduce us to this new technology. Helium is paying us to help us be part of the infrastructure. This is the wave, man. So if anybody has been part of the community is like, okay, Steve and Chad have been preaching this, you seeing it happening now, right before we go into the 2024. So this next year, I think we're going to see a whole lot of new companies start to innovate this right before 2025. And then everything's just going to explode, man. So this is the first step. If you haven't been really buying on or listening to what they're saying, man, this is the first step. So get on before it's too late.
Kev, listen, I appreciate you. And listen, if I don't have students like Kev executing, then I'm just, there is no Skyton Crypto University. So always, grateful that you tap in, and Kev was like, if he doesn't learn anything else from me and being part of his university, this is probably the biggest thing that he's taken from us. And I mean, listen, there's a lot of big things too, but I think it's a lot easier for people to wrap their head around things that they already know. I have a cell phone. It costs me this much. There's a new cell phone that costs me that much, as opposed to just blockchain, crypto, blah, blah, blah. But again, if Kev didn't have the foundational understanding of what cryptocurrency is, this information doesn't flow to him right away. 100%. And if he hears it, he doesn't know how to really process it. Right? Because you hear $5 plan, we're so far removed from anything. There's nothing that costs $5.
Exactly. Nothing. I got 10 guys that work for me, man. And I just told you, it's only 3 that went up. They're all looking at me like, $5, that seems kind of funny. What's going on? I'm like, bro, no brainer. I'm saving you money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's hard for people to intake that information. So what you said is correct. If I didn't have this introduction from you guys on cryptocurrency in general to understand that this makes sense, I wouldn't even want to take the $5, even though to me, that's stupid that you wouldn't do that.
Listen, we wanted this to be a quick little lunchtime situation. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Keep following, join the community. We have so much more in play for 2024. Kev, strap up. You already know where we at with everything. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys, my brother. Thank you. Big love.
My guy.